Okay. Okay, good afternoon. I'm going to call the meeting of the State Allocation Board to order. It is 4:03. This meeting is being held in person at the East End Complex Auditorium at 1500 Capitol Avenue in Sacramento, California, 95814, for anyone that would like to provide public comment in person. This meeting is also being conducted by way of Zoom meeting for members of the public that would like to participate remotely. In order for this meeting to run efficiently, for those participating remotely, please note the following guidelines. All attendees will be muted during the meeting. If any member of the public would like to make a comment, please use the raised hand feature in the Zoom meeting interface. I will call your name at the appropriate time, and OPSC staff will request to unmute you. If you're calling into the meeting and not using a computer or a Zoom application on a mobile device, you will be unable to provide comment today. Number two, the board will not be meeting in closed session after the open session meeting today. And Ms. Jones, would you please call the roll, noting any members joining us from a remote location?
Certainly. Senator Laird?
Present.
And that is a remote participation. Senator Perez? Senator Choi?
Present.
Assemblymember Murasucci? Assemblymember Davies?
Here.
Assemblymember Quirk-Silva?
Here.
And that is a remote participation. Juan Morales?
Here.
Jeremy Smith?
Here.
Jennifer Osborne?
Here.
Michelle Perrault?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. All right. We're going to go ahead now and move on to the minutes from our last meeting from February 26, 2025. Ms. Kirk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The minutes from the February 26th State Allocation Board meeting are on pages 1 through 12 of today's agenda. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I request the board approve the minutes.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments or questions from the board members on the minutes? Seeing none. Are there any public comments on the minutes? Seeing none. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Certainly. Senator Laird?
Aye.
Laird, aye. Senator Choi?
Aye.
Choi, aye. Assemblymember Davies?
Aye.
Davies, aye. Assemblymember Quirk-Silva?
Aye.
Quirk-Silva, aye. Juan Morales?
Aye.
Morales, aye. Jeremy Smith?
Aye.
Smith, aye. Jennifer Osborne?
Aye.
Osborne, aye. Michelle Perrault?
Aye.
Perrault, aye. And that motion carries.
Thank you very much. With that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our executive officer's statement. Ms. Kirk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Firstly, I'd like to provide the board an update on the stakeholder meetings that the Office of Public School Construction has been conducting this year, primarily focused on gathering stakeholder input toward proposed regulatory development to implement provisions of Proposition 2. Since the February 26th, 2025 State Allocation Board meeting, we have held 2 additional stakeholder meetings. The first on March 13th to discuss school facility program matching shares and the Career Technical Education Supplemental Grant for Modernization Projects. Both of those are provisions included within Proposition 2. Additionally, at that meeting, the Office of Public School Construction presented non-Proposition 2 global proposed amendments to the program regulations. At that meeting, we had 70 unique stakeholders participating virtually and 3 who attended in person at our office. On March 20th, we conducted an additional stakeholder meeting to discuss changes to the facility hardship and seismic mitigation program regulations that are proposed to ensure clarity and consistency. We appreciate the strong participation that we've had by stakeholders in this and all of our 5 stakeholder meetings to date, and we look forward to announcing additional stakeholder meetings in the near future. I'd also like to provide an update regarding the Career Technical Education Facilities Program. As you know, Proposition 2 provided $600 million in additional bond authority for the Career Technical Education Facilities Program. The Office of Public School Construction will present recommendations to the board at the April meeting to finalize the deadlines and the amount available for an upcoming filing round for this program. At this time, in coordination with the Department of Education, We would note that we're proposing an upcoming filing round with $300 million available and tentative dates that would include submitting applications to the Department of Education by December 1st of 2025. Once those applications are reviewed and scored by the California Department of Education, applicants with passing scores would then submit their applications to the Office of Public School Construction tentatively by June 30th, 2026. As mentioned, these dates and the amount for the upcoming filing round will be presented and finalized at the April 2025 State Allocation Board meeting. And after that point, we look forward to hosting an information session jointly with the California Department of Education for prospective applicants. Finally, I would like to provide the board with an update regarding the action taken at the February board meeting, in which the board opted to reserve the remaining general fund authority previously authorized for the school facility program to support the board's ability to consider providing direct apportionments to school districts that were directly impacted by the January 2025 wildfires that submit funding requests under Proposition 2 disaster assistance provisions by August 31st, 2025. The Office of Public School Construction has informed impacted school districts of that recent board action and advised them that they may submit an application for disaster assistance using the existing school district appeal request form. Additionally, the districts have been informed that they are also able to apply for consideration of disaster assistance funding or other board programs after that date on August 31st, 2025. But the board's action in February provides an opportunity for them to access fund release faster to the extent they apply before or on or before August 31st, 2025 and receive a direct apportionment. Our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025, and I'm pleased to address any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any comments or questions from the board on the executive officer's report? Yes, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just about the $600 million in career technical education facility funding portion of her statement. I just would like to go on record here as a board member to say that I really hope that all the CTE facilities that are built under that program are being used for career technical education. I know that districts and county offices of education and schools have a lot of pressures put on them, not only by my friends on this board up here in the legislature, but society and local policies. And sometimes those facilities need to be used for other classrooms. And that is not what that money is for. It is for providing hands-on education to students, and whether it's in the construction trades or culinary or IT or whatever it is, I know that there's a certain amount of follow-up that this staff from this board does do in those situations, and there is a scoring rubric, and they have to say what they're going to spend the money on. And I don't know how to check on them after they've built something. I'm not asking for this board to do that, but I just hope that these facilities are used for what they are intended for, which is providing hands-on education to students, some of whom really, really need it because they learn better in a contextualized manner than they do out of a book. So thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Other comments or questions from board members? Okay, seeing none, are there any public comments on this item? Okay, no public comments. This is not an action item, so we will go ahead and move forward to our consent agenda. Ms. Kirk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today's consent agenda is on stamped pages 15 through 115 of the agenda. And I'm happy to address any questions, and I request that the board approve the consent agenda.
Thank you so much. Any comments, questions, or changes needed to the consent agenda? Okay, seeing none, are there any comments from the public on this item? Okay, no public comments. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to move.
Okay, we have a motion by Senator Choi and a second by Assemblymember Quirk-Silva, I believe is who I heard. If, Secretary, you please call the roll.
Certainly. Senator Laird?
Aye.
Laird, aye. Senator Choi?
Aye.
Choi, aye. Assemblymember Davies?
Aye.
Davies, aye. Assemblymember Quirk Silva.
Aye.
Quirk Silva, aye. Juan Morales.
Aye.
Morales, aye. Jeremy Smith.
Aye.
Smith, aye. Jennifer Osborne.
Aye.
Osborne, aye. Michelle Peralt.
Aye.
Peralt, aye, and that motion does carry.
Thank you so much. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to our next item, which is our financial reports. Ms. Kirk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The financial reports are on stamped pages 116 through 132 of today's agenda. I'd be happy to address any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions from the board on the financial reports? Okay, seeing none, are there any public comments on this item? Okay, seeing none, this isn't an action item, so we'll go ahead and move forward with our next order of business, which is to take up our action items, and we have one before us today. Ms. Kirk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today's action item is on stamped pages 133 through 393 of today's agenda. Before you, the action item is presenting proposed emergency regulatory amendments for the school facility program. I would like to just take a brief moment to recognize that this is a little bit of a milestone here because we are presenting the first set of a number of sets of proposed regulations to implement Proposition 2 for the board's consideration today. So we're very pleased to be here today presenting this and very appreciative to all of the hard work by our staff at OPSC working on these items, as well as very robust input and participation, as I mentioned, as part of the executive officer's statement from our stakeholder community and interested school districts. So thank you to everyone for this first of many packages of proposed regulations we'll be bringing forward in the coming months. Before you in this item, we do have recommendations related to 4 different topics with proposed regulations coming out of Proposition 2 implementation. Specifically, these topics, for the most part, are implementing what are essentially conforming changes to the school facility program regulations, our grant agreement, and one of our forms in order to reflect the changes to statute that have been made effective through voter approval of Proposition 2 in November 2024. Specifically, the topics in front of you today in this item are to align our regulations for the change in the financial hardship eligibility criteria from Proposition 2, a change in modernization eligibility for schools located on military installations, changes to new construction eligibility for small school districts, as well as reflecting additional eligible expenditures that have been added to the program by Proposition 2 in our regulations and our grant agreement. These topics were all discussed at a stakeholder meeting held on January 30th, 2025. I should also mention that in conjunction with the Proposition 2 change to the financial hardship criterion around a district's gross bonding capacity to automatically be eligible for financial hardship status, we do also include in today's proposed regulations formalizing the board's longstanding practice and policy related to bridge financing for financial hardship applicants. That is before you as a change that we've included in the proposed regulations for financial hardship as well, which was also discussed at the January 30th stakeholder meeting. For recommendations on this item, we recommend that the board adopt the proposed emergency amendments to the school facility program regulations that are shown on attachment B, that the board additionally adopt the proposed amendments to the Form SAB 5003 as shown on attachment C, and adopt the proposed changes to the grant agreement. This would be an alternate version of the grant agreement for projects apportioned Proposition 2 resources as shown on attachment D. And finally, we recommend that the board authorize us to file the proposed regulatory amendments with the Office of Administrative Law on an emergency basis to make the regulations permanent thereafter. I'm happy to address any questions.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say thank you as well to your team. I know everyone in our school industry has been waiting and is excited about the fact that we have this opportunity for additional funding. And so this is one of, I know, many steps that we will take, but is a big step nonetheless to start moving the funds out and to the districts that I know are waiting and need them. So again, thank you to your staff. I know that you guys have really put a lot of prioritization to get this moving in front of us quickly, so very much appreciated. Are there comments or questions from the board on this item? Okay, seeing none, are there, oh, Senator Laird, did you have a comment?
No, just thought we were nearing a vote.
Okay, you came off mute, so I just wanted to make sure. I was paying attention. Great, then are there any public comments on this item? Okay, seeing none. Senator Laird, are you looking to make a motion?
I would move the item.
Okay, moved by Senator Laird. Do I have a second? Second. And a second by, I think, Assemblymember Davies. Thank you. Secretary, if you please call the roll.
Senator Laird.
Aye.
Laird, aye. Senator Choi.
Aye.
Choi, aye. Assemblymember Davies.
Aye.
Davies, aye. Assemblymember Quirk Silva.
Aye.
Quirk Silva, aye. Juan Morales.
Aye.
Morales, aye. Jeremy Smith.
Aye.
Smith, aye. Jennifer Osborne.
Aye.
Osborne, aye. Michelle Peralt.
Aye.
Peralt, aye. And that motion carries.
Great, thank you. And again, thank you to the staff for your continued work on this. With that, we're going to go ahead and move to our reports, discussion, and information items. Ms. Kirk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The reports, discussion, and information items are on stamped pages 394 through 437 of today's agenda. I'm happy to address any questions that the board may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the board? Okay. Seeing none, any public comments? All right. Seeing none, this is not an action item, so we do not need any further motion on that. And with that, that brings us to the end of our agenda today, and we will go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 4:20. Thank you, everyone.